I've told you several
I
times.
just pulled my neck.
You're just sitting there. You were literally sitting there.
I
You
jerked
didn't
my
move.
neck to go like this, and it just went, and I just messed something
Do
up.
we need to call 911?
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, home of the $1 Million Guarantee. Now, here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hey, everybody, I'm Darin.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 50, and we have a big show for you.
Boy, howdy.
Mike is so excited. Seriously, we've got great news about the podcast. We went to see Billy Idol.
Yes.
Mike had a great experience on his anniversary date with his wife.
Uh-huh.
I've got a new office buddy in my where I work.
Okay.
They moved somebody into my office with me.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we've got a bunch of other things to talk about, so you're going to want to stick around for this one.
Yeah.
But first, our podcast, Irritable Dad Syndrome,
Yes.
was ranked in the top 10%.
On Listen Notes.
Yes.
And so we've put a Listen Notes player on
Yes.
the website. So here we are, 50 episodes in, damn near a year.
Yeah.
And we finally, on our website for our podcast, put a link on there to where you can listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Because we're always innovating.
Always innovative.
Always innovating.
Yes.
I mean, there was always a listen now button, but apparently clicking that is too much work for an actual number of people. We have the data to show that once we put the player on there, it increased huge.
There's like 4 places on our website to listen now. You can go to the top, you scroll to the middle.
It makes me wonder how many people went there and was like, well, I don't know what to do.
How do I listen to this show?
They said it's an audio show.
I keep pushing buttons. I can't get nowhere.
I don't hear nothing. So now, even by accident, I mean, the only thing that we haven't done is like what you had in the old GeoCities websites from the 90s, where you get on there and all of a sudden music just starts automatically playing, like on your MySpace page.
I mean, I thought we were going to have to actually go door to door and tell people how to get to the website, how to play the podcast.
We should get a boombox and walk down the street with the podcast playing.
Yes, absolutely. And another big thing that's happened is our last episode, episode 48, we could hand out butter. That episode it exploded.
I don't know why.
I don't know either, but it almost has 100 downloads.
I don't think it's that great of an episode. I tell you what,
good.
Tell all your friends about it.
Yeah.
Tell them all to listen to it. And then see if they agree that it sucks.
And then we'll talk about it.
It doesn't suck. It's good. It's a good.
I thought it was a really good episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Every episode we've had was really good, except for the first 15.
Yeah. Episode 2, wow. I went back and listened to episode 2 because for some reason somebody downloaded that this past week, and may they rest in peace. They'll never listen to another one of our shows again.
We're begging you. If you like this podcast, we're encouraging you to tell all your friends to go to Irritable Dad Syndrome. Go back into the 30s.
There's no catching up.
Start listing from there. Don't start at number 1.
Yeah.
There's no reason to start at number 1.
We're like
this isn't sequential.
Yeah.
Like you said, this ain't Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you don't turn on the 24-hour news channel and say, well, I need to start back in 1982
No,
to catch
you don't.
up.
No.
You don't. You just start watching it. Wolf Blitzer looks the same now as he did back in 82
exactly
anyway.
the same.
So just start watching now.
Yeah.
Start listening to the podcast now and move forward.
Start with the current episode. If you like this one, go back to number 49.
Here's a thought.
Yeah.
Read the damn show notes, and if you see something in the show notes that irks your fancy, tweaks your...
That jumps your coin... I'm going to do everything in my power that makes that a thing. Jumps your coin.
Jumps your coin.
Hey, does that jump your coin? What do you think about that, Chris Michael?
Yeah, note to editor. That's a new t-shirt idea. Okay, we're back.
Mike and I went to see Billy Idol in concert. We went up to...
William Idol.
William Broad is his born name. Okay. He chose the name Billy Idol when he joined Generation X. He was in a punk band back in the 70s. And then in the 80s, if you're in your upper 40s or 50s, you remember Billy Idol because he was ginormous in the 80s. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing Eyes Without a Face, Flesh for Fantasy, Hot in the City, dancing with myself.
You probably took vacuum hoses and wrapped them around yourself with fire around you and beat your chest.
Exactly.
And that's,
But it was a great concert. Mike and I went up to Huber Heights. Mm-hmm. It's near Dayton, Ohio. And if you've never been to Dayton, don't. Just drive past it.
Yeah, go drive in Ohio until you don't see anything interesting anymore. That's Dayton. You're in Dayton when you're...
You know, there are a lot of nice people who live and work in the great
Dave
city.
Chappelle lives near there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, not really.
Okay. I tried.
The general vicinity of Dayton. There's a lot of famous people who came from Dayton, none of which I can think of right now.
Well, Percy Mandate.
Yeah, Percy Mandate. God, he was it he, right?
He was the voice of the
Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah?
The 1973 Clippers. In there, when they appeared on Scooby-Doo, Percy they couldn't get all the Clippers to do the voice, so they got Percy Mandate.
He did all the voices.
He did all the voices.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird because you could kind of tell that it was the same guy, and he did some voices like this, and then he was like this. We gotta get in the van, Scoob. Every show in the 70s and 80s had some character that had a voice like this.
That was Percy Mandate.
It was Percy Mandate.
God love him.
Or as his friends called him,
the Purse.
Percy. What happened?
I always called him the Purse. But no, we get to the Billy Idol show. Let me step back.
We were on our way to the Billy Idol show, and we thought we'd been duped by the GPS.
Yeah, the GPS has taken us, and I've told several GPS stories on this podcast before. I thought we were going to have another one of those experiences because we're driving, and the GPS tells us to take a left, and we took a left, and we passed a Target and like a Joann Fabrics or something.
Yeah,
and we're going down this a 1-lane road, and there's like a storage unit. Right?
Yeah, it started being like the opening of an Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah. And like it looks like this does not look like we're going to a
Darin
concert.
And Mike thought they were going to a concert.
Yeah. And next thing you know, bam.
It's a really nice
There's a
amphitheater.
giant outdoor music facility.
Yeah. For those of you near or around Cincinnati, it was basically Riverbend.
Yeah.
And it was behind Target.
Yeah,
it basically where it was.
Looked like the PNC Pavilion.
You go to Huber Heights, you go behind the Target, left at the dumpster, and there's this amazing amphitheater.
It's just like out there in the middle of nowhere. There was an old lady who got mad at me when I tried to park.
She demanded. See, when you come to a place like that, and it's just like Riverbend, the closer you are to the venue,
I know.
For every car space closer you are, that's another hour that you're waiting to get out, and another 15 drunk people you're going to meet that you don't want to meet.
Yeah, I wanted to park closer to the back. Yeah. They insisted that I pull up.
She had that Top Gun, like those things that the guy uses to guide the jets, that thing, and she was at first, she was gently gesturing towards the space that you needed to go to.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, she was swinging that thing like Conan.
I thought she was going to use it like a billy club.
She was close to it.
And clocked me across the head.
Ticked her off. So, of course, immediately when we got out of the car, I threw Darin under the bus. I told her I've been trying to get him to park in that space. But these bald holes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're one of them.
I am.
Yeah. So we park.
Yeah.
We couldn't just park. We had to park with a little bit of level of confusion and excitement. Mm-hmm. We get inside the place. It's a really nice place.
Yeah.
We find our seats, and Mike's like, "Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's going on? Hey, I'm Michael, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
Like you're welcoming everybody into the neighborhood. Like you're the stewardess.
Well, the ladies at the beer thing asked, because we were both wearing our shirts.
Mike and I decided to wear our Irritable Dad Syndrome t-shirts to the concert and hoping someone would say, "Hey, what's that?" And then we would tell them. And you know what? We got 6 downloads while we were at the concert.
Yeah, it was probably people accidentally looking at it. But yeah. So the beer lady was like, what words do I need to learn?
Yeah.
Listen, lady, I put all my humor into the shirt. I don't. It's none. There's no more left.
I don't know why you promote the show.
Beer.
Because people ask you about it, and you go, "I don't know."
I know.
I don't know.
I know. That's like that one guy.
We intentionally wore the shirts to do that.
Yeah. Well, something about you wearing the same shorts that I did on top of the shirt really made us look.
So Mike and I knew we were going to wear the same Irritable Dad Syndrome t-shirt. I wore camouflage shorts. Mike is also wearing army fatigue green shorts. So we look extra matchy.
Yeah.
We're both bald. We're both tubby. We're wearing the same shirt. We're wearing matching shorts.
Yeah.
Nothing weird about that.
No, not at all.
We get into the place. We find our seats. And we start chatting it up with these guys.
I was proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. We start chatting it up with these guys. They were talking about Billy Idol, and they kept calling the guitarist Steve Stevenson. We're really excited to see Steve Stevenson.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not Stevenson, it's Stevens. And then, do you remember the guy had asked me, he says, does Billy have the same drummer? Because there was one concert where he hit the drums with the I'm like, the Sticks? Yeah, the Sticks. And they went way up in the air, and that was awesome. I'm like, oh God.
It's okay.
I felt pretty good because this guy can't remember the word sticks.
It's okay
So
if you don't know that drums are played with drumsticks, but if you're that inept, don't start a conversation about drums with somebody.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's right.
I don't walk up to people and start talking about nuclear physics.
Yeah. Do they still use the
proton?
the core?
Yeah.
Yeah. Proton.
See, I don't even know enough to finish the joke.
I don't either. I've never seen a merch line this long.
And no offense to Mr. Idol, there wasn't that much merch there.
No.
But I think it's because there was one merch place.
Yeah.
I thought about that on the way home. Usually when you go to a concert, there's multiple
there's
areas.
3 or 4 places to
This
get your
one, there
merch.
was one, and it was snaking through
Yeah.
the whole outside area and started to reach back in the arena.
Yeah.
Because I thought, whenever he plays his hit, whatever, Hang On Sloopy or whatever that is.
Yeah, Billy Idol loves playing Hang On Sloopy.
I figured that's when I'll go out and get some merch.
You're thinking Money
So
Money?
the Foxies started playing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to go check out the merch. Because I listened to 1 or 2 of their songs. I got the gist.
They were good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
So I went out and I'm like, I can hear them. I can tell when they go off stage. And that ended up working out pretty well, with the exception of the fact that the guy ran out of the fat sizes by the time I got up there. And I ended up having to get a large, wherein I normally buy an extra large.
Right.
So Mike from the 90s and early 2000s can wear a large. Mike now can't. So, and diet.
Yeah. I need to diet too. Yeah. But what was cool was a couple of things happened in the merch line.
Yeah.
We saw a guy nursing his drunk girlfriend, wife.
Was that alcohol?
I had to have been.
I think there was some psilocybin or something going on.
I don't know
there.
what that is, but she could not sit up straight to save her life.
Yeah.
And at one point, she was sitting
barefoot.
there.
Did you see that she was barefoot?
Yeah, she was barefoot. She's holding her nachos, and then she she Daffy-Ducked straight into the mulch. Nachos flew 3 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And we're all like, whoa!
Yeah.
But while we were waiting in line...
And then, we saw the lead singer of the Foxies walk through.
She came out.
So, of course, I abandoned Darin and ran over there and got a selfie.
Exactly.
And you, your face is in there.
I was like, I'm here too, Mike. So Mike met the lead singer of the Foxies, and we posted that picture on our Instagram and our Twitter.
Yeah, Brenda Foxy. Maybe Clarice Foxy.
She was nice. She was
a very nice person.
She reminds me of a young Debbie Harry.
Okay, I don't know who Debbie Harry
Blondie.
is. Okay.
You know who Blondie is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Debbie Harry.
Yeah. That's what I just said.
And then the whole band came out, and then I didn't feel so special. I'm like, well,
right.
But I did get just selfie with just the lead singer. So that was, she wasn't, yeah.
So what did you think of the concert?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Billy Idol, all these years later, still a badass.
It bothered me that when he took his shirt off, what is he, 60?
He's 65.
He looks better than I do with
his
shirt off. And
he looks just like he did when he was 35 without a shirt.
Yeah.
And that also pissed me off.
I did not know that was the guy, the Steve Stevenson.
Steve Stevenson.
Steve Stevens. I didn't know. I've been a huge fan of the Top Gun album forever.
Uh-huh.
I have it on the vinyls down here. And had I known, he just randomly started playing that, and during his solo, he started playing part of the Top Gun anthem.
Uh-huh.
And I recognized it.
But that's not him on the album, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I think it is. I mean, Fancher said it was, and he would know.
Well, because Steve Stevenson also did a bunch of Led Zeppelin songs during his guitar solo.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. But that Top Gun came in out of the blue. And I was just like, okay, yeah, you're doing the Top Gun. That's kind of cool, but a little respect, please. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Right.
And then Fancher posted the thing that, hey, that's the guy that did Top Gun. I was like, oh, crap. So the whole time I'm sitting there being all like holier than thou. Why don't you have some respect?
Right.
I was like,
he's the guy.
He was the guy that did it.
That was the only two things I can really say critical of the concert was Steve Stevenson.
He is. Steve Stevenson is the guy that did the Top Gun. Him and Harold Faltermeyer.
Okay.
Harold Faltermeyer did all the cool stuff.
Axel F.
And then Steve comes in. Wow, 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 wow. They should have had that lady with that thing that brings the aircraft
bringing
in
in the planes.
She could have been out there bringing in planes while he was playing that. That would have been perfect.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
But my two complaints, this is the fourth time I've seen Billy Idol in concert. Now, the first time I went was the Charmed Life tour, and Steve Stevens, or Steve Stevenson, wasn't with him there. They split up.
Was he recording the Top Gun album at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, they split. I don't know why, and I don't know why they got back together.
Yeah.
But they did.
Yeah.
So he wasn't with them on that tour. The other three tours that I saw, Steve Stevenson did the same guitar solo, like every time. So he's been doing, my buddy Eric Cross, who was at the show, has seen him 2 other times.
Yeah.
He's been doing this guitar solo for like the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're an extremely talented, gifted guitarist. Give us another guitar solo. And then the only other critical thing I could say was, Billy Idol did a cover of some song by the Jimmies, or I don't know. It's like, unless it was LA Woman, or come on, man, you could have given us John Wayne or Hot in the City.
Sometimes
or
they
Sweet
probably
16, Catch My Fall. You could have done another one of your hits. But you know what? I had a great time. Billy Idol was still amazing.
I really would have liked something from Cyberpunk, just for him to acknowledge it.
Shock to the System. It would have been cool for him to do Shock to the System. Yeah.
But yeah, bands not playing their, a song that you like. When we saw, when I saw Page and Plant with Box and Fancher and the guys, they were refusing the entire tour to play Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
They flat out said in interviews, we will not play that song on this tour.
Why?
But they did play When the Levee Breaks, which is what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were like, we're not going to play that song.
Well, anyway, in honor of Billy Idol, we had our announcer, Dave Lay.
Mr. David Lay.
Who is also a big fan of Billy Idol. And Dave has recorded himself reading lyrics to Billy Idol songs. And tonight, the world premiere of Dave doing Eyes Without a Face.
When you hear the music, you make a dip into someone else's pocket, then make a slip. Steal a car and go to Las Vegas. Ooh, the Gigolo pool. Hanging by the state line, turning holy water into wine. Drinking it down. Oh. I'm on a bus on a psychedelic trip, reading murder books, trying to stay hip. I'm thinking of you. You're out there. So, say your prayers.
Thank you, Dave. That was awesome.
Astute listeners will remember last episode we were talking about anniversary.
Yeah.
And how I spent my anniversary in our basement with you. But we had agreed, Bess and I had agreed that we were going to celebrate that following weekend. So we did.
Right.
So Bess set up the dinner reservations.
Okay.
She wanted to eat at a nice restaurant.
Where did you go?
We went to Los Santes.
Los Sante. Whoa.
So, because you don't want to take your wife to McDonald's.
The McDonald's.
Or Trendy's.
Go to White Castle.
Or the Taco Bell on an anniversary.
Oh,
so she gets reservations at Los Santes. We're excited. We're going to go there. What she didn't do was recognize that Los Santes is right there at the FC Stadium area.
FCC. Cincinnati. It's just soccer, or as the English people call it, football.
Football.
Yeah.
And there was a game plus an outdoor event.
There was a match. Yeah.
Please. Plus an outdoor, and it's not
Show
American.
Some respect.
It's football. It's not American football.
No, and they don't use their hands.
It was not clear that there was anything going on until we got within a mile of the restaurant, and we started seeing people walking with FC,
FC
are they
Cincinnati.
jerseys or shirts or what are they?
Right.
And so it becomes clear we're not going to find a parking space anywhere near. So we are late, and we're almost out of gas.
Oh,
That was
boy.
another factor in the story.
Oh, boy.
But we knew we were almost out of gas when we left. It's like, screw it, we're going to get there. I'll drop you off. You run in there, make sure the reservation, because they had a 5-minute grace period.
Yeah.
Usually, whenever we make reservations to places, we're late. And we're just like, we're going to be there in about 10 minutes. Okay. This place, we called, and the guy said, oh, yeah. If you're here within 5 minutes of reservation, it'll be here for you.
Seriously? And you called them and told them that you're on your way?
Well, she didn't press the fact that we may be late. She just said, we have a reservation at 5 or whatever it was, and we may be a few minutes late.
Uh-huh.
And he said, you would be within the 5-minute grace period. And something about the tone of his voice stopped further information coming from her face into the phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're running out of gas. Drop her off. And I'm like, I'm going to go find a space. I circle around. The circle gets wider and wider, and it takes longer and longer until I'm like 3 or 4 blocks out. And I'm like, literally about to run out of gas.
Oh, my God.
I check on the GPS. There's a gas station 7 minutes away. She's now been in there for about 10 minutes. So I text her, I got to go get gas. I went the wrong direction to get gas.
Oh, God.
Okay. At one point, there were just people just standing out in the road.
Right.
I get up there. I get to the gas station. Now, our gas tank is on the left side of our car. Okay.
It's by the driver's side.
The driver's side.
Okay.
There's a 3-pump station.
Okay.
I can't go around the other way to get to the gas pump that's farther away from me. A car pulls up right in front of me to go into one of the 2 places that I can go. All they have to do is move up to the next space,
right,
and they can get gas and I can get gas. They pull up to that front space.
And then they stop.
They stop and they get out.
Thanks.
They stop and they pause and they stare at me. You can see our eyes meet. They register. If you just move up and get gas, then they just turn and they put their card in the thing and they start getting their gas. So then I start doing what I normally do in those situations. I start texting my rage to Bess, like some whatever.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
I did that one time. Apparently they were giving gas away. Pulled into the gas station, and this is a very popular gas station in Westchester. Like 16 pumps. Yeah. All of them are occupied. All of them. I see one open up, and the same time it opened up, another one did, and I pull up into the first one.
Yeah.
And the other one had opened up. I could have pulled all the way through.
You didn't.
And I didn't. And the guy actually got out of his car and walked over and said, "Why didn't you just pull up?"
Yeah.
And I said, I could have swore, and I really did. I thought someone was pulling in.
Yeah.
I thought someone was coming in to pull in forward. I said, I thought that guy was coming, and I'm sorry. He goes, okay. Because I'm like, we're gonna have a situation here.
She gave me a look that precluded any confrontation. I was afraid that something would happen to me. She would mace me or something. I don't know. So I just sat there and I waited. She finally pulled forward. I made a point to pull forward, like follow her all the way through and move up to the space she should have taken.
Yeah.
And got close enough to her to where she would have to look in a rearview mirror and see me pulling up to the space she should have been. That's my passive-aggressive way of making that point.
Yeah.
Bess has now been,
I hope she feels bad.
She's now been sitting at the restaurant for 15 minutes. She's had a drink. She's ordered an appetizer. And I am, at this point...
a salad.
At this point, I'm still at least 7 minutes away from even getting back to where she is.
And that's if you find a place to park.
Right. So I get back to within 2 blocks of where she is. Traffic slows way down. There's people walking all over the place. I pull into a lot that is offering spaces for $20. I'm getting desperate. They're full. Okay, I get back and I am in front. I can see the restaurant, but I have to turn left. And there is a line of cars coming as far as the eye can see. And it's one of those things of where they turning green and it's yellow and nobody can go. I sat through that light 3 times.
Oh, dear God.
Finally, on the 4th one, there was a space in between the cars. It was red as the day is long. Turn left on red in front of everybody. I think someone honked. I think I was called an expletive. I just went along. I went on my way.
Yeah.
And I drove toward the city. And I'm like, I'm going to go until I see some place to park. About 5 to 6 blocks away. By the way, Bess has been in the restaurant now for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
About 6 blocks away, I see a veterinary hospital that for some reason is right next to a pay parking lot that for some reason has 1 space open. Right on the street.
Get it.
Pulled in there. Then I'm messing with the card machine. It won't work. It won't take my card. Bess has now been in the restaurant for 30 minutes.
Bess is having dessert.
Yeah, I did, but I texted her, I found a space, and I get a yay back. So I do all the stuff that I need to do. Now I begin my 6-block walk back to the restaurant, past the festival that's called the football festival.
Yeah, that's where they play soccer.
Past all these things, but yeah, so...
They don't use their hands. They kick the ball. You're allowed to use your head.
Yeah, it began to rain. Just slightly, just enough to piss you off, but not really get you wet. You know what I mean? That kind of drizzle.
God's watching over. He's like, start the rain.
And I start hearing all this yelling and whoop and like tone loc or something like
wild thing
blaring. Yeah, something like that. And I look and there's one of these stupid pedal buses. Have you seen those? They get drunk people, and they all have little pedal things, and the bus is like a bike, and they're pedaling this thing, and it's got like Tone Loc and Young MC.
Anybody want to do that? Yeah,
I don't know. The guy that was guiding it, the tour guide, looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. It was all these people. It was the kind of people.
You got a bunch of drunk people. Take me to the McDonald's.
Yeah, it was the kind of people that wear visors. Some of it, you know those people.
Oh, I hate people who wear visors.
Full of visor wearing sons of, and they just going up the street. So now it's raining on me. It's 35 minutes now that she's been alone. By the way, our 19th anniversary.
Yes,
she's already eaten the appetizer. She's on her 2nd drink.
Some guy's hitting on her.
Yeah. I've just been through
She's sitting there next to a guy named Clive Bixby.
I've been through, let's just call it a very unwelcoming area. And made it back. And I finally get in there. And, yay, you made it. Yeah, I made it. Where's the bathroom? I gotta piss. You know, I didn't say that, but I did go to the bathroom. And then came back. And we had a wonderful dinner.
Good.
I'm going to be paying that dinner off for the next 3 to 4 months because I got the bill and I'm like, holy Lord.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about the bill is that they put it in a book.
Oh, yeah.
Like a hardback book. And we opened that up to get the bill out and we noticed that people were signing things. So what did I put in there? IrritableDadSyndrome.com.
Hear about my eating experience.
So if you came to this show,
Lasante's,
by seeing this website written in a book in Lasante's,
welcome.
First, thank you for spending that much money on steak just to finally get to this show.
Oh, it was a steak plate. Okay, okay.
It was the price was up there. Once it gets north of once it gets up into the 3-digit range, it starts to get my attention, really get my attention. That's for 2 people.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we didn't order 3 steaks.
Okay, let me put it this way: when the tip becomes an expensive meal at another place,
yes,
that's when it's like, okay,
I know
it's our anniversary.
Yeah,
we'll do this.
There's a Jeff Ruby's downtown.
Oh, okay. It was very similar to that.
And we had never been. And so Libby decided, she surprised me and says, hey, we're going to go out. And we went downtown. She says, we've never went. We're going to splurge. And so we went to Jeff Ruby's. And it was good. It's a good meal. It wasn't $130 good, but it was good.
So... I've talked to you about how I've been learning how to grill better.
Yeah.
So I paid special attention to the steak I got.
Mm-hmm.
Just this past week, we got some steaks at the
Mhm.
Kroger.
Yep.
There's the Kroger mention for the week.
Yep.
I got some blue cheese.
Yep. There's
I
the
grilled it
cheese
up.
mentioned for the
There's
week.
the cheese mention. Grilled it up, tried to mimic the same thing that I'd gotten at the place.
Mhm.
I got it pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
And that cost me about $14
Yeah.
versus what I paid,
Yeah.
which is about a semester,
Mhm.
maybe half a semester
Of
of one of my
college.
kids' college.
Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
I'm glad you had a. Did you have fun?
We did. It's very important to have like a date and have time with your spouse away from
Yeah.
those damn kids.
Yeah,
and,
living
and
out-
I say that with love. I love my kids.
I love my
But
kids.
you need a love time. You need alone time with
Little
your
love time.
wife. Otherwise, you're going to be one of these couples that ends up the kids leave
Mhm.
and you're just sitting there and
Who
then
the
you
hell
say,
are you?
"What the f- are you looking
Yeah.
at?" You don't want that.
Can you pass the salad? You.
Why don't you pass a stone, you son of a? You know, you don't want to be one of those.
Yeah.
You know, I've met so many people.
My wife, she
Yeah.
keeps saying, she says, Jacob's going to be leaving the house in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then when Cameron goes, I mean, what are we going to do? I'm like, well, you could talk to me. That's, you and I, we still have each other.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares.
Yeah, it's important to have fun. We still have fun together. We crack each other up.
Yes.
If you have
That's
a
one thing I've noticed
relationship,
about it.
if you have a relationship with your wife or
Mhm.
if with your husband,
Yeah.
I think everybody that listens to this show
Has
is
a
a
wife.
middle-aged fat bald white guy like we are.
Probably.
But I'm sure they come from all walks of life to this show. But
By the way, send us a picture of you if you're a
Yeah.
fan of our show, because we want to see our fans.
We do.
We want to see how many people are not fat, tubby white guys.
here's a nice litmus test for your
Okay.
marriage.
Yeah.
From Uncle Mike.
Take it from Uncle
If you've still got kids in the house
Mm-hmm.
and you and your wife or your husband find that you will share a joke or you'll be talking about something that you think is hilarious and you have to shut up when the kids come in
Mm-hmm.
and you get annoyed and you wait for them to leave so you can finish the joke or throw
Yeah.
the punchline.
Yeah.
That tells you that you're in a good place.
Yeah.
That's a little test. If you're in that same situation and you're like, oh, thank God they're here, he'll shut the f- up. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign.
Have you? Has this ever happened to you? You're telling your wife a story, okay? And one of the kids walks in,
Yeah.
and the story might not be appropriate,
Yeah.
but it's just something that you don't need the kid to know about. Whether it's a
Yeah.
surprise they've got coming down the road, or whether you know someone who's not feeling well,
Yeah.
or whether you're talking about somebody that you know that you're going to see a couple weeks from now, and I don't want them repeating that story in front of me. So the kid walks in the room, and then and then your wife says,
Oh, yeah.
"What were you saying?" I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell me now? I'll what's going on? You can tell me now. I don't want to tell you right now. I
Yeah.
don't want to tell you right now. Why are you talking weird? I don't want to tell you right now. Yeah.
I could tell you that I'll tell you that this may shock you, but whenever Bess is telling me something like that and the kids walk in,
Mm-hmm.
I relish those moments because I'm like, what is it, Bess? What
Yeah.
did they say?
Yeah. What?
What was it they were saying?
The whole time?
Yeah. Holy Lord, the stamina. You know, that's what she said is one of our favorite things to do because that's us.
Yeah.
And
I know.
So we got into the pattern of saying,
Uh-huh.
Bess was like, you need to quit saying that's what she said.
Mhm.
And the kids are going to hear you and they're going to ask what that is. And we don't
Yeah,
know. So
I
I started saying, that's what was said. And so she knows what I'm talking about. She gets to snort over there.
That's what was said.
Yeah. But Andrew has seen some clips of The Office on YouTube.
Yeah.
So he started to giggle a little bit. And I was like, okay, I can't do that. It's like when you used to spell in front of your kids.
Oh, that's
like,
what was
honey,
the
don't
worst.
you think that we should have bottle here? I don't know where the men bottle is.
I'll tell you what I thought was the worst.
What?
Was when the kids are really little and they wanted to get ice cream, we could say, "Oh, buddy, that place is closed." Oh, Kings Island closed. Florida closed. Sorry, we can't go. It's closed.
Yeah.
And they're smart enough to know now
Yeah.
that mommy and daddy are full of crap.
Yeah.
That it's not closed.
No. I can't use the I'm going to call Santa and cancel Christmas.
I know.
There was a few.
That was the best.
They thought I had
loved
Santa
calling
on speed
Santa.
dial.
I loved calling Santa. Loved
So
it.
yeah, I would with Charlie multiple times, buddy. I'm sorry. Is Santa there?
Yeah.
I've got Harvey the elf
Uh-huh.
on. He's going to get Santa. Harvey's kind of slow.
I want Santa
maybe
right now.
Maybe Charlie can get his act together before Harvey and his slow ass gets over to Santa.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dogs. Had a crazy day? Are the kids driving you nuts? And the boss is climbing on your ass waiting for you to work late again? I'm Dave Lay, and I know the feeling. It seems like life is constantly trying to rip me a new one. And this always happens on my night to make dinner. So what do? I'll tell you, Sally. I throw some Whoppers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dogs on the grill. And just like that, everybody's happy. Whoppers are made from pure beef with no fillers or preservatives. They're packed full of flavor, and they're perfect for any meal or a late-night snack. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your hot dog isn't a foot long, they'll refund your money, guaranteed. So after this podcast is over, run out and grab a package of Whoppers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dogs. You'll be glad you did.
I'm going to take a picture of me and Mike. Something I forgot to mention earlier.
Oh, good
Mike
God.
and I wore matching T-shirts to the Billy Idol concert. We're also wearing matching T-shirts now.
Yeah.
I came over and Mike's wearing his Johnny Cash shirt. I'm wearing my Johnny Cash shirt, and we also have matching weed whackers,
We do.
which has nothing to do with anything.
And we bought them at the same time. What is just think of the odds of that.
I know,
The odds of me buying lawn equipment at all
right?
on any given day is astronomical. But to be there at the same time you are
Yeah.
and buy the same lawn
And
equipment.
I'm like, hey, Mike, what are you doing? Oh, I'm getting a weed whacker. I'm getting a weed whacker because I had one.
yeah.
And I had a weed whacker and a blower.
Yeah.
You had bought the combination weed whacker blower in the same box. And I'm like,
Good deal.
oh, I want that.
Yeah.
And so you told me where it was, and I went and I got it.
Those are good weed whackers and blowers.
I know. Battery, you put the battery in it. You don't have to use the extension
screw
cord.
with
It
anything.
comes in a green box. I don't know the
You don't have
brand.
to worry with gasoline.
No,
and
you
everything.
don't
None of
smell
that
like-
kerosene.
yeah.
That horse. It's good.
But I came home and I told Libby that I ran into you because she asked me why it took 45 minutes to go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
Well, I ran into Mike and I was talking to Mike. And then
You're on the timer too?
yeah.
I'm going to Target to get a thing. Why did it take you 7 minutes to get to Target? Nah, it's not that bad. Yeah, exactly.
So, but I told her that we bought the
Yeah.
same weed whacker, and she goes, "Oh, do you guys own the same? That's so cute." I'm like, "Drop it, just drop it."
We should probably get tested.
We should. We absolutely should.
There's got to be somebody
is
out
something
there.
wrong
One
with
of our
us.
listeners works in brain
health.
scanning, mental health.
Yeah.
You'll see doctors on the YouTubes or on TV saying, we've mapped where you smell dog farts. And notice this dog is going to fart next to this guy. And this part of his brain on this scan glows yellow when he smells the fart.
Yeah.
There's got to be some map of our brains because that's
know.
not normal.
No, there's something wrong.
Matching Johnny Cash T-shirts at
Yeah.
the same time
With us. Yeah.
is not. It's not incredibly weird, but the lawn equipment is pretty weird.
Yeah.
If it was anyone else, it would suggest surveillance. It would suggest like, I think he's going to buy a weed whacker. Let's go buy a weed whacker.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper. With its unique enzyme action, Diff dissolves old paste and cuts wallpaper removal time in half. This is Dave Lay, and people are constantly asking me for home interior tips, so let me give you some free advice. If you want to cut corners and use a less expensive inferior product, then knock yourself out. But don't come bitching to me when your living room looks like an abandoned Turkish prison and the resale value of your home drops below sea level, okay? Diff is fast and easy, and the best part? No steamer is needed. Diff is the only one that really works. Look for Diff wherever quality wallpaper stripper is sold. Now, back to the show.
So I've mentioned several times that my oldest son, Jacob, is in marching band.
Yes.
Okay. So last year, Libby decided she was going to volunteer. She was going to help out. She was going to be a band mom. And she went and did a bunch of stuff and helped out with the band. She helped with costumes and
Jello molds.
Yes. She makes the best Jello molds.
Yeah.
Looks just like a
like a Jello.
Yeah. So this year I thought, okay, I need to step up and help out some. So the marching band had a pool party.
Okay.
And I decided that I was going to help and I was going to chaperone the pool party.
Okay. Now, for those of you who are not in America, a pool party is where you have a pool.
Yes.
And then you have a party.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. The whole marching band, they rented out the Mason Community Center.
Okay.
All right. Mason, Ohio is a very, very nice part of the area, and the community center
it's where Kings Island
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
This place is really nice. It has huge water slides. There's a lazy flippin' river in the middle of it. Okay?
What?
It's a giant pool with a lazy river and a bunch of slides.
Okay.
And it's awesome. We're driving to the community center, and we get to the building where GPS said to go. Jacob gets out, walks up to the door, and there's other kids. They can't open the door.
Okay.
And they're like, this can't be right. And so somebody says, oh, no, the Mesa Community Center, it's over there. The pool's over there. And they're pointing ecstatically
to another area.
Okay. So Jacob starts walking.
Oh, so it's a walkable area. It's not like somebody...
Jacob starts walking with the other students, and I got the keys, and I drove over there.
Okay.
And I'm following these other parents, these moms.
Okay.
And they go left, I go left. They hang a right, and then I'm following them. They cut through part of a parking lot. I cut through the same part of the parking lot. There's this red Corvette convertible that's pulling up, driving toward me, and the guy is pointing the other way. He's pointing and pointing and pointing.
Okay.
And I'm thinking...
How does he know where you're going?
Yeah.
How does he know where we're going?
Thank you. I'm thinking he's a parent also, because there's like 5 of us parents in a convoy trying to get to the pool. Yeah. And he's pointing the other direction. Okay. So I stopped, and he said, "You're going the wrong way." And I said, "Oh, I'm following these people. We're just going to the pool." He goes, "No, this is one way. You're going the wrong way in a one-way area." And I said, "Oh,
is he the one-way police there?"
Apparently. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he goes, "Well, don't be sorry. Just don't be an idiot." And then he just
snapped.
And then he just pulls out, just leaves before I could make my comeback.
Oh, it's the worst.
And my comeback was going to be, "Oh yeah." You're an idiot, you know? And I'm like, that's not nice.
It's not nice.
There was nobody else in this particular part of the parking lot. What an... And this is, like, here I go again, unintentionally pissing people off.
Yeah.
Because I just love to accidentally do that.
What a jackass.
Anyway... So
not him.
No.
Yeah.
We get to the pool. Jacob goes in, and it's me, and there's like 5 or 6 other parents. And this is what chaperoning is like. We stood there and did nothing.
Yeah.
We just
I've
stood
always
there.
wondered.
We had our arms crossed, like, I got my eye on you. You better watch it. And occasionally I would make a lap around the pool and look at students like, no jumping, don't run, no peeing in the pool.
Yeah.
I did absolutely nothing until like the very end. It was 11 o'clock, time for everybody to go. And I said, "Everybody, it's time to go." Right. Anyway, I'm walking around. I'm trying to, hey guys, let's get our stuff.
Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah. You don't have to go home. You can't stay here. Let's go. Move it. Last call. And this kid starts slipping another kid with the towel. And I said, "Hey."
Okay. And
he stops. And he just looks like, "Oh, okay." oh my God, it worked. Yeah. It worked. So that was, I think I could be a professional chaperone.
You could.
Nobody drowned.
Oh,
there were no fights.
All right.
Nobody brought in any illegal contraband.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There was no
no hanky panky of any type.
No grab ass. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything went great. Everything went absolutely great.
Yeah. Did you do a head count as they walked in and make sure they all came out?
I didn't do it. But there was somebody watching the front. There was somebody watching the front door to make sure nobody left.
Were they using the buddy system? No flutes or trombones.
You don't have a buddy.
There.
Get one.
That's right. Was there a lifeguard station that they?
There were lifeguards all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
lots of lifeguards.
It had a lazy river going around it.
Yeah.
Were there any kids that just hung out in the lazy river and didn't get in the regular pool?
There was part of the pool that's like a whirlpool area. Okay. And there were like 40 kids in it just going around. Yeah,
that's where I would be. I had to be in a whirlpool.
Round and round. I'm like, there's these like 30-foot slides and they're just spinning around in circles. The most fun part of the night was, the party was from 8 to 11. Around 9:30, and when it started getting dark, all the lights in the pool went on.
Oh.
And every student went, hey! It's like a flippin' fireworks show. They lost their minds because the lights went on.
Well, that's a very special time.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Crank Cola. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold bottle of Crank. That's right, Crank Cola isn't available in a can. The fine folks at Crank refuse to sell their soda in anything but a glass bottle, just like God intended. It's available in cherry, vanilla, and now their newest flavor, peach. So grab a bottle of Crank today, the old-fashioned soda that comes in a bottle and stays fizzy longer. Now, back to the show.
I now have a new person in my office.
Now, this is odd. So can you describe to me, how large is your office? Let me get a mental...
Oh, God. I've got a decent-sized office. Okay. The room that I'm in used to have 3 islands, and 4 people could sit at the island.
Okay.
What they did, since I make commercials, is they made part of the area an editing station, and the other part of the area has a couch and 2 chairs and a table, a client lounge. So it's part editing station, and then the other part is where clients can come in and we brainstorm. We talk about what they're. You know, it's nice. Okay. And when I moved into this particular part of the building, I said, "Guys, this is big. I don't need this much space. You're going in there." Okay. There's another part of the building where there's an office, a smaller office. They're going to take over that to bring in some people to archive a lot of footage, and it's going to take a very long time. So the person who's in that office, they're moving her out, and they moved her into my room with me.
Okay.
I'm not used to having an office buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to having somebody else there. Now, she's very nice.
Yeah.
I've always gotten along with her, but I'm just not used to her being there. And I told her, I've been such a jerk to her. I said, you're allowed 2 pieces of private things. If you want a picture, you can bring in like 1 picture. You can have if no flowers. I don't want any perfumes.
Yeah.
There'll be no private phone calls.
Yeah.
I mean, no personal phone calls.
Yeah.
I've been such a jerk to her.
You know,
she laughs it off because she's got like older brothers and she doesn't take any of my
Yeah.
So she's loving it. And the thing about it is
you stop it with the heavy breathing over there. Just, can you breathe through your nose or your
She doesn't know who Weezer is. She's never watched Breaking Bad.
What?
We have nothing to talk about.
What the hell?
And
that's a perfect office buddy. Somebody you don't have anything in common with.
Every day she eats an apple.
Oh my God. Is it a Granny Smith?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes. Today she was eating a Granny Smith apple. Would you stop eating the apple?
She's an alien. She's like the ones on V that rip their face off and it's a lizard under there.
So this is my space, and they moved her into it.
Okay.
All these people are walking by, and they stop and ask her, so how you doing being in here with Darin? Nobody asks, how you doing with this new person in your room?
Do a Dwight and just bring some duct tape in and run some duct tape down a line and split the office.
She can't cross that line.
And this is yours.
I think I might put Christmas wrapping all over her desk. Yeah. I don't know. I might put her stapler in Jell-O.
Yeah. Move her desk into the bathroom.
She asked me today. She says, "So what are you doing? You got like plans later tonight?" I'm like, "Well, we're recording the podcast." And she said, "What are you talking about?" "Well, I'm going to talk about you." I pick on her. She's very nice.
Okay.
She really is very nice. Yeah. But I'm not used to having somebody else in the room, and I've talked about this before. With her being there, I kind of feel like, should we be having a conversation? Because if we go too long just doing our work or whatever,
it gets weird.
I feel like I'm rude. I'm ignoring her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if I'm working, then I shouldn't be talking to her.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could start all kinds of uncomfortable conversations. You could You could just start saying,
Did I tell you my toe's infected again?
yeah, you can say, huh.
No, you. Oh, I see you're wearing that dress again.
Is it laundry day today?
I've been such a jerk to her. So, Mike, what's your least favorite part of growing older? You're only 46, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 51.
Okay.
And over the past year or so...
Hold on. You asked me a question. My least favorite part of getting older? Getting fat and unable to unfat it. Metabolism goes down, so you have to work harder.
Yeah.
But then you're also getting older and you think, I deserve to eat 3 ice cream sandwiches at once.
Exactly.
I've made it this far.
Like in a sitting or at a time. Like you stack them one on top of the other, unhinge your jaw, and then eat 3 at a time.
Well, I hadn't thought of doing that, but now I will.
You could do 2 side by side.
We mentioned on a previous podcast that I overeat now because I know at some point a doctor's going to tell me I need to cut back on this, cut back on that.
Right.
So I feel it's my duty, while I can, just go for it. Sit down and eat a whole pint of something, anything.
Chunky
monkey, whatever. Yeah.
Well, over the past year or so, I've noticed that I'm getting hair growing out of my ear.
Yeah.
And I can't stand it because it's disgusting.
You got one of those little ear trimmer things?
I do, but the tweezers, I have to tweeze it because they drive me absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm all the time thinking, oh God, can people see hair growing out of my ear?
Yeah.
Right? Because I've told you, like with my eyebrows, I hate when my eyebrows get bushy.
Yeah.
And I run the trimmers over my eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be Martin Scorsese or Eugene Levy.
Or that guy from Dune.
Yeah, exactly. But the white hair growing out of my ear, it drives me absolutely crazy. And I'm not asking.
I can't pluck out of my ear.
I'm not asking the wife to pluck the hair out of my ear.
No.
That our relationship is not there.
And they like to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Here, let me get that. No, let that be
exactly
where it is.
Exactly. Let me get that pimple off your shoulder. No, you know what? No.
That's fine
we're
right
good.
where it is.
Yeah.
But if I try to pluck, because I tried that once, it feels like it's coming from where it shouldn't.
Right.
Like it feels like I know it's not growing out of my eardrum.
Right.
But I'm afraid I'm going to go, and then I just won't hear out of my right ear anymore for the rest of my life.
You're afraid you're going to pull out your ear.
Yeah.
Eardrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
The internals of my ear. Or a little message will come out saying, oh, shit, and I can't hear anymore.
Well, I've also gotten to the age where my toenails start driving me crazy. If they get past a certain length, they keep me awake because they scratch. I had to get up the other night and cut my damn toenails.
Yeah.
2:30 in the morning because they were driving me crazy.
Do they have a normal shape anymore? Or are they all weird?
No, my toenails have never had a normal shape.
Yeah.
They grow around.
Mine used to. And then somewhere around 40-ish, they just decided, hey, we're going to, those old pictures of you remember the Guinness Book of World Records?
Yes.
They would have
the nails that grow around
that guy, that weird
yeah.
guy, and you're like, how did he even wipe his butt?
He didn't.
No. They begins to look like those. And I don't know what that is. Why does it do that?
I don't know.
It's now time for an important public service announcement. If you have trouble reading, seeing road signs, or recognizing faces when people are talking to you, you should consider getting a pair of glasses. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I can't see without my glasses. I've worn glasses for years. They're comfortable, and the ladies think they make me look sexy as hell. Most importantly, they help me see things, and without them, I'm about as useless as the tracking button on a VCR. So what are you waiting for? Get a pair of glasses and start seeing stuff today. Now, back to our show.
I had a fun commercial shoot the other day.
Okay.
I've mentioned several times I work at a TV station.
Uh-huh.
And last week, I told you that I was going to be working with a guy who's also named Darin.
Yep.
He spells it Darrin.
Yep.
Okay. This guy could not be more cool if he possibly tried. I mean, he was fun and cool, and I was talking to him. I'm like, so do people have a problem saying, spelling, pronouncing your name? And he just goes, oh, you wouldn't believe. I'm like, oh, yeah, I would. I totally would. And he said, almost verbatim what I say. He says, I get Derek, Daryl, and Damon all the time. Damon. Yeah. I said, do you
There's
ever
not
get...
even an M in there.
No. And I said, have you ever got Darfin? He goes, no. But he gets Daryl and Derek all the time. No one can spell it.
Yeah.
And we were just having this great conversation like, oh my God, you're just like me. Nobody knows your name. I went to Penn Station. I had a pickup order.
Okay.
And every time I get a pickup order, if I'm at, it doesn't matter, Chick-fil-A or wherever,
Yeah.
Mike, I tell them my name is Mike.
Okay.
So I went into Penn Station the other day to get my order, and the guy says, name? And I said, Mike. He goes, oh, how's it going, Mr. Mike? And he reminded me of Tracy
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
He goes, well, come on over here. Hey, everybody, Mr. Mike is here. Mr. Mike's picking up his sandwich. That'll be 1748, Mr. Mike. Okay, it'll be right out.
You're starting to wonder what the hell's going on. Are you being set up for something?
He was so excited that I was there.
Warning: this portion of our show contains delicate subject matter. Parental guidance is suggested.
I want to ask you about a story that I see on here.
Okay.
Because we do a rundown, and we what we're going to talk about, and then we always have a section if we have time.
Yeah.
I think we have some time.
Okay.
If we have, we were going to make time for this one.
Okay.
Cursing lady at church.
Okay.
This sounds like a gem.
Okay. We have to get Quacker the Duck ready for this one.
Okay.
Because cursing lady at church is exactly what it is. Okay.
All right.
Libby used to volunteer at our church. And so there was this particular day where we had to get there an hour or so early.
Okay.
And I had the kids out at the playground, and Libby was inside our church doing volunteer stuff. So I'm watching the kids, making sure that nobody falls off the swings and cracks their face open.
Yeah.
Doing what dads do, go, dude, watch yourself,
Yeah.
And then I hear this lady, and she's in the background. She's like, no, hell no. Get your god hands off me. No. You, no. I am not going in there. You can't drink. Get your hands off me. No.
Not the normal language one expects at a church.
No.
Yeah.
It's an African American lady. She is dressed to the nines.
Okay.
She looks fantastic.
Okay.
She's got her hat. She's got her lovely dress. And from what I gather,
somebody had their hands.
No.
Okay.
I think she was at a home, and someone, I believe it was the driver, because someone would go from place to place and pick people up and take them on errands and doctor appointments. This particular gentleman was taking her to church, and he was trying to walk her into church, and she would not go. And she was cussing up a storm.
Okay.
Get your blanket hands off me. No, I'm not going in there. You can't make me stop it. No.
She didn't want to go to church.
No, she did not want him to take her into church. I had to call Libby. And I said, we have a situation out here. I said, we've got a lady screaming obscenities.
Yeah.
And we have a guy who has pretty much just lost his will to keep trying to stop the situation. So funny thing was, Cameron and Jacob had walked over there, and this lady's still cursing up a blue streak. And I said, Jacob, why don't you take Cameron to the other side of the playground? And he looks at Cameron. He says, Cameron, I think this lady has special needs.
Okay.
And he goes, okay. And then they walked away. So the police came.
Oh, wow.
Like 2 police officers. And they came, and it took 2 of them to calm her down. To really,
I was going to say, did they make her get her ass into church?
No. They kept asking her what was the problem and what can we do to help. And she just, he is trying to take me in there, and I'm not going in there.
Okay.
And they asked her why she wouldn't go in the church. She said, because there's too many black people in there.
Oh, no.
There's too many black people in there.
Okay.
That's what she said. And she's black.
Okay.
She says, there's too many black people in there, and I don't like the way they cook. Bless her heart.
Okay.
And they finally got her.
Yeah.
Calmed down.
Yeah.
And the guy who picked her up and was bringing her to church was able to take her back home.
Okay. Hopefully they took her through a drive-through.
Yeah.
Or something.
I don't know. But Well, guys, listen, this has been episode 50. It's been a fun one. We appreciate you listening. We hope you come back next week, and we definitely want you to come back the week after that, because that is going to be our 1-year anniversary special.
Yeah, and one of these days we're going to do that special.
Yes.
But in the meantime, go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. Again, there's a player on the site, so there's one less click to get to the actual episodes.
Yep.
There's also a few clips up there, some pictures. There's a link to our Patreon page.
Yeah.
So we
you
don't
can send us money.
Yeah. Well, it helps support this, because this does cost money.
It does.
And every little bit helps. Plus, you also get access to bonus content and different things. One of my favorite things is the voting on the episode titles.
Yes.
Because we have to up our game. We usually come up with just random titles, and then me and Darin just decide what we're going to call it. Now we've got like 4 or 5 titles each time. Patreon at a certain level and above, they get to vote on the titles.
I'll tell you what, episode 49 was supposed to be called
Ice Cream Be
Delicious. But no,
yeah,
our patrons decided it's going to be You Don't Screw with Lasagna.
And here's the thing. When we edit, we usually upload the episode early. It's usually up there on like Sunday or Monday, but it's inaccessible until Tuesday morning.
Right.
And we give it a title that we think it should have. And then we let people vote. A lot of times, the voting goes the way that we thought it should.
Yeah.
But this is one of those where it didn't.
It did
and
not.
It was like, daggone it,
I know.
Chris Hughes. We got to go in there and change the title.
It's supposed to be Ice Cream Be Delicious.
Yes. Yeah. So we got to up our game. We got to put 4 to 5 titles in there and be okay with any one of those.
That's right.
That's what we do.
I wouldn't have put Don't Screw with Lasagna if I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But hey, and also, end of October, we're going to be in Cleveland.
Yeah.
We're
see the Gojira.
We're going to go see the Gojira brothers, Mike and Randy Gojira, and then we're going to be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
If you are in the greater Cleveland area, come by. We would love to see you. We're happy to take pictures. We'll sign autographs, and you can tell us some stories, and then we will relay them on this podcast.
Or not.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
This has been Irritable Dad Syndrome. Mention you heard this podcast and we'll send you the next episode free. Thanks for listening and drive safely. If I looked all over the world, and there's every type of girl, but your empty eyes seem to pass me by, leave me dancing with myself. So let's sink another drink, as it'll give me time to think. If I had the chance, I would ask the world to dance, and I'd be dancing with myself.